I just want to take a moment and wish all of you a happy new year and share just a thought with you. This is something that I shared with my church this past Sunday as I was thinking about closing out 2014 and getting into the new year in 2015. And it's a time that we always take a look back behind us at the previous year, and we look at the events and the things that we've dealt with over that year, the accomplishments that we've made, the struggles that we've had, whatever that may be. But as we look into 2015, and many people will make New Year's resolutions as they do that, make new commitments, because it's a time for a new start. And so I just wanted to share a thought with you along those lines. This is what I shared with my church this past Sunday. It's out of Philippians chapter 3 and verses 13 and 14. And Paul says this. He says, "Brothers, I do not consider that I've made it my own, but one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward to what lies ahead, I press on toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus." Now, Paul specifically, he's writing to the church in Philippi, and he's trying to address some things that are taking place in that church. There are a group of people in the church in Philippi who are teaching that you can reach a level of perfection, a level of sinlessness in your own spiritual life. And Paul goes through this, and he recounts his past and his history, and he was a Hebrew among Hebrews. He had all the credentials. He says, "But I count it all as loss. It's all trash. It's all garbage. It's all rubbish, because there's one thing in my life that motivates me, one thing in my life that drives me, and it's my relationship with Jesus Christ." He says, to know Him. And so I forget those things that are behind, and I strive for the things that are ahead. So as you enter into 2015, I want you to certainly consider all that's taken place in 2014. You can't forget it completely, and that's not what Paul's saying. He has recounted his past. He remembers it, but what he says is, I neglect to live there. That's what that word forgetting what lies behind means. It's neglecting what lies behind. What Paul's saying is, I leave it in the past where it belongs. I don't live there any longer. I don't dwell on it. Your past, 2014, the things that you've been through, the mountaintop experiences, the valley experiences, they're part of who you are now, and that's not going to change, but you don't live there anymore. And so Paul says, forgetting what lies behind, I reach forward toward what lies ahead. I press on toward the goal of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. He's made Jesus His one thing. And so I would encourage you to do that as you take a look at 2015. Make Jesus your one thing. If you've got some resolutions you'd like to make, some things you'd like to do, do those things, but do them for the glory of God. Make Him your one thing. Happy New Year.